Yo, what's good everyone? Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, bro. I am hyped, because the World Cup is in less than 10 days, bro. It is currently June 2nd, and because of that, I decided, bro, let's go ahead and dive into all the groups of the World Cup, right? I did a predictions video a while back. It was my early predictions. I might do a second predictions leading more closer to the World Cup, but this time, I really want to talk about the groups, and I want to rank the groups based on how difficult I think it is for the teams to escape that group, right? So I'm not necessarily ranking them based on quality. Maybe that's another video, but I'm ranking them based on how difficult it is, I think, to get out of that group. All right, so the first group we got here is Group L, which consists of England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama, bro. Okay, so I did a little research, right, specifically on Panama. I wanted to see exactly, because I don't really catch a lot of Panama games, I'll be honest, but they are in like the region that of the teams that I do watch, like USA, Mexico, and stuff like that. So Panama is an interesting one. I definitely think that they are not some of the worst teams, but they're not really like the best in their region. I would say they do sometimes pull off some upsets, notably against like Jamaica, the US, but in terms of all the ones that come out on here, I think Panama might be the weakest. Ghana also, sometimes they show up in the World Cup, but they're kind of a wild card. They don't really have consistent form, especially as of recently. So Ghana, Japan, they're definitely like the two teams that are the weakest. Croatia and England. Croatia, as of these last couple World Cups, they've definitely been showing up. Made it to the semifinals of the last World Cup, and then the World Cup previously, they made it to the finals, I'm pretty sure, right? Against France. They did lose to France pretty badly, but they still gone pretty far. And then England, obviously, now I think this is going to be a different England this time. You got Thomas Tuchel at the helm, managing all the players. You got players like Jude Bellingham. You got players like Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, players that I really feel like can change a game on an instant, on a dime like that. So I would say this group is probably around the A tier in terms of like how difficult it is to get out of. It's definitely not S tier. There's a couple S tiers in this, so we'll get into those. But the next group we got is Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. All right, so Haiti and Scotland, obviously those are the two weaker teams. Scotland made it to their first World Cup since like the 90s, I'm pretty sure, or something like that, something crazy, or maybe it was their first World Cup ever. I'm not too sure about that, but Scotland had that crazy game for qualifiers, that last one where they had to score 2 goals in like the last couple minutes, and then they made it to the World Cup. Haiti, I think it's their first time being in the World Cup as well, so not too much experience there. But for the teams that don't really have a lot of experience in the World Cup, they're gonna try their hardest in the group stages, because for them, those are the finals, right? So I could definitely see maybe pulling off a tie or an upset against Morocco and Brazil. But in terms of how difficult it is to get out of this group, I'd say probably a B tier. I don't really think it's that difficult to get out of this group, especially if you have some decent quality like Brazil or Morocco. Those teams are probably going to get the top 2 spots, and then Haiti and Scotland, they're pretty evenly balanced right there. Mexico, South Africa, and South Korea and Czechia. Okay, now this group in terms of quality, like they don't really got it like that, I'll be honest, but they are all kind of pretty close to each other in skill level, I would say. So I think this group is actually pretty tough to get out of. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it in S tier. Maybe I had to shift some stuff around, but Mexico definitely look like they're going to be the favorites to top this group because they're playing at home, and they get like a stat boost every time they play, like in Mexico. It's ridiculous. But I think genuinely Mexico is probably going to be around high A. I might move it up a bit. It's going to be a very interesting group. Obviously, I don't think South Korea or Czechia are that good, to be honest. Now that I think about it, maybe South Korea and Mexico are going to be the 2 top teams, and South Africa maybe in 3rd spot, but we'll have to see. I'm just looking at it from like an outside perspective. I think this group is going to be harder than everybody thinks, because I do think Mexico is the best team in that group, but the other 3 teams, they can easily like pull off some draws and results against the others, so we're gonna have to see. So Group D, USA, Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. I would say this is another one that's kind of like Mexico's group, pretty even in quality. Paraguay and USA, they face each other sometimes, and Turkey, obviously they've looked like they're really good, and Australia, from the last World Cup, they had a pretty interesting game against Argentina where they almost really took it to them and beat them. So I'd say this one's also pretty even, but I think Turkey's like the standout, so I'd say B maybe again. And then Group B, Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, Switzerland. Switzerland obviously look like the highest contenders, as well as Canada. Bosnia did knock out Italy, but I don't know if they're gonna have that bite to make it far, as well as Qatar. I think this group is a little bit easy for Switzerland to top. I would say this is like a C in terms of difficulty, or maybe D. Yeah, I'll probably say D in terms of difficulty. I think Switzerland's easily gonna get out of that. Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia. Oh, this one's interesting. Sweden, Japan, and Netherlands in the same group. This might be a sleeper one. I might put this one at A and then move this one up a bit, maybe. That's because I highly rate Japan. I think Japan is really underrated. Sweden also has good players, as well as Netherlands. Dude, I think this might be another like difficult group, I'll be honest. I'll put it at A again. I'll put it at A. I'll keep it at A. Group E, Germany, Ecuador, Curacao, and Ivory Coast. I'm pretty sure from my last video, people were telling me it's not Côte d'Ivoire, it's Ivory Coast. Okay, I think Germany easily pretty much top this group, and Ecuador. Yeah, I think this is like a C level difficulty, to be honest. Plus, I want to fill out the other rows, but in terms of difficulty, I'd say it's C. Germany just definitely looked like a stronger team than the other ones, and Curacao and Ivory Coast, I don't see them really pull off an upset. Maybe against each other, they can get some points. That's gonna be interesting to see who wins between those two. But Spain, Cape Verde, and Saudi Arabia and Uruguay make up Group H. So how difficult do I think it is for the teams to make it out of this group? I think Spain easily topped this group, as well as Uruguay. Saudi Arabia could also make up third place, but to be honest, Cape Verde, I don't see them doing much. I'm gonna say this is like a C level difficulty. Group K, Portugal, Colombia, Uzbekistan, and DR Congo. Again, one of those ones where they have like two really like okay teams, and then two really good teams like Colombia and Portugal. I think Portugal probably top the group, Colombia gets second, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colombia get first. I'm gonna say probably B in terms of difficulty. And then this is the one, I think this is gonna be our first S tier everybody's talking about. Bro, if you're Iraq, or if you're from Iraq, bro, just be happy to be there, to be honest. Like, don't really expect yourself to get out of that group. It's gonna be very difficult to get out of that group, I'll be honest. Senegal, obviously, I think they're the champions of Africa, to be honest. Norway, very solid team. It's like their golden generation. And then France is literally the favorites to win the whole thing. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult to get out of that. And then Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand, Group G. I think Belgium stands out against the rest of them. Maybe Egypt can contend, but to be honest, this is like a C level. And then finally, we got Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. A lot of people were like clowning on me for putting Austria last when I did my predictions video, but it's just because I think Jordan has something in store, low-key. I don't know why, and I haven't really caught up with their games, but I just, from word of mouth, what I'm hearing is that they have really good players. But Austria, from what I've seen, I think they're gonna be probably second place. And then Argentina, this is probably gonna be like a B level. Wow, look at that. You know, it's a proper tier list. You know, the B is in the middle, C's, and then D's. Yeah, I like this. I like this. Alright guys, so that is my tier list on how difficult I think it will be for the countries to make it out of their respective groups. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. You know, it's gonna be a very intense couple of days because the World Cup is coming up. I'm gonna be trying to pump out as many videos as I can. So please like and subscribe and put on those notifications to stay updated with my videos. But that's it from me, guys. Hopefully you guys had a good day. Take care and peace.